Assisted living. 8 things you don't know. We're going to talk about an article I saw today from a place for mom.com. Actually, pretty informative article. I think you need to be informed of assisted living because remember, long-term care is I don't want to say a pet peeve of mine, but there's a lot of misconceptions about long-term care. And I have done a bunch of videos on continuing care retirement communities, and I'll continue to do them because I think it's important. But the basis of long-term care is that you have independent living. You're just doing fine on your own. You have assisted living, and then you have full skilled nursing care. Those are three components right there. Some might put a fourth, like hospice or something like that, and that's fine. But for right now, independent living, assisted living, and then nursing home. And the issue is a lot of people think that you make a transition from independent living to nursing home without realizing that there is something in the middle called assisted living. And I want to go into this a little bit. I'm meeting with a good friend of mine today for lunch, and she's just went through all this with her own mom, and has told me that she's learned a lot. She's a CPA, certified financial planner, the whole kit and caboodle of financial planning background. But the issue is that she doesn't know. A lot of people don't know. And when we put our heads together, we can learn, especially when it comes to what you do for your parents in particularly, or if you are someone who's looking at potentially needing these kind of cares for yourself, what do you do? And that's one of the answers we're going to talk about here today. So if you like what you see here at Heritage Wealth Planning, subscribe. Thumbs up, always helpful. So don't forget to subscribe. And then when you do subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. So let's dive right into this article. I actually was informative to me. In a place for mom. I don't think that's one that Joan London. Remember Joan London, the short hair, yellow, blonde hair lady? I forgot what she was on, some kind of show, but she took over to be the spokeswoman for. I think it might be a place for mom. Actually, maybe it's Joan London. I can't remember. But anyway, so they have a blog called Senior Living Blog, which is pretty good. And we're going to talk about this. If you're just beginning your search for assisted living community to care for an aging loved one. Now, I'm coming at this today from the context of you have a mom or dad that you need to take care of, but you don't have the capacity to do so because you're raising your own family. What do you do? And so you're looking at, they're no longer independent. All right. They can't take care of everything on their own. They need assistance in their living. It's easy to assume that an assisted living community is a nursing home or retirement home. However, senior care professionals and senior living designers have worked over the last 30 years to revolutionize communities to make them truly feel like home. According to the National Investment Center's investment guide, there are over 6,300 professionally managed assisted living communities in the U.S. with approximately almost 500,000 apartments. Now, when you look at continuing care retirement communities, there's only 1,900 of those, and I'm not sure if those 1,900 fall in here or not. I do not know. But there's only like 25,000 people, maybe 29,000 people in CCRCs. So assisted living facilities dominate my phone just rang, dominate CCRCs without question. And the reason is that CCRCs, continuing care retirement communities, have to have a certain level of wealth. And there's just no other way around that. With assisted living is more attainable for most Americans. All right, so we spoke with a few of our caring staff members at A Place for Mom who have knowledge of assisted living communities across North America, and they provided us with some great insight. Number one of the things you do not know, assisted living provides different levels of care. Absolutely. Because there's no nationwide definition for assisted living, though it is regulated in all 50 states, senior facilities to call themselves assisted living facility communities can offer differing levels of care. Got to understand that it's regulated by the state, and each facility can offer different levels. They offer more cost-effective residential approach, delivering many of the same services available in skilled nursing, either by employing home health agencies or personal care staff. Place for Mom Advisor in Chicago says not all assisted living communities are equal. Some provide lighter care, and some care can even provide care for those who are bedridden or need help eating while remaining in assisted living as opposed to nursing homes. So we're making a distinction between assisted living and nursing homes. So what this guy is saying, David Grossman is saying some they can provide you for bedridden, which is skilled nursing care, but others can just help you for small potato stuff that you wouldn't get in a nursing home, because nursing home you really need skilled care 24/7. It often depends on the community's licensing. Many states have a tiered system of licensing where communities with a higher degree of licensing are able to provide even more care. Each community is unique. Care aside, the look and feel of communities varies as well. I'm telling you, it does. From apartment buildings to just like a house down the street, it's crazy. You can look up assisted living near me, Google that, and you'll see something you're like, I thought that was some dude's house. It's actually just a house in a neighborhood that's got 4 or 5 people in there with care providers that either that come in there on shifts, 8-hour shifts. It's interesting. Some communities may have Art Deco decor, while others are firmly grounded in mid-century modern design. Assisted living communities come in all shapes and sizes. They can be, well, we just said that, towering apartment buildings in city centers, sprawling campuses and suburbs, or more intimate colleges or communities catering to a relatively small number of residents. There's no nationwide standard size, but according to our own definition, assisted living communities are licensed to care for at least 20 people, but could have hundreds of residents. This person says, every assisted living community has a different personality. You can visit 2 communities down the street from one another that offer the same care and services, but they have completely different feel, and they might be very different in terms of the services they provide. So just because your loved one doesn't like one community doesn't mean they won't get the feel at another one. I'm not going to read this, but maybe you could get your dog to go in there as well. Some assisted living costs are lower than you think. Assisted living is often less expensive than home health or nursing home care in the same geographic area. The Place for Mom Senior Care Calculator can help determine the cost of assisted living in your city and state. And I'm going to jump on that in the different episodes, and can compare it to the cost of maintaining a home or employing a full-time home care. Now, always got to be advised, just like the CCRCs, they're going to provide you certainly with a gear towards showing you the assisted living communities are affordable relative to the other options, because that's what these guys do. CCRCs are going to provide you with their calculator that CCRC is not expensive as you think, because that's what they do. Just take it with a grain of salt. That's not saying that's not right. It just is what it is. Additionally, more seniors are purchasing long-term care insurance to help finance their long-term care needs. They talk about VA benefits and whatnot. Let's see. And Place for Mom, those with low income may need to use Medicaid to pay for senior care. Medicaid is not Medicare. Medicaid is health care for the indigent, the poor. I'm just telling you, I know there's a lot of people doing Medicaid planning. You just got to be very, very careful in doing that. The states, one of the biggest budget gaps they have is funding of Medicaid. And so if you think you're going to just easily hide your assets to qualify for Medicaid, you're going to have another thing coming, because these states are going broke because of their Medicaid commitments. I always use this example. 10 years ago, West Virginia passed a law where they can claw back assets after 10 years if they can find out that you were able to shielded or hid some of your assets and went on Medicaid via the state. 10 years. And they're going to get those suckers too. So you better be careful. I'm never a big fan of Medicaid planning. I think if you got the assets, you should pay for it for sure. I don't understand it, because there are people who don't have the assets who can't afford it, and they need it too. And so if you have the assets, you should pay. It is a moral thing on my perspective. You can disagree, that's fine. I just don't get this whole idea of Medicaid planning, hiding assets that I could use to pay for my care. Well, there are indigent people in America who don't have the assets to hide, and every dollar that is going towards you is going away from them. And that just doesn't feel good to me. The type of care, assisted living is not synonymous with nursing homes. 100% agree with that. Remember, independent living, assisted living, nursing homes. Our research suggests that many families believe they need nursing homes for their ailing older loved one, when in fact assisted living is the most appropriate. An assessment by an advisor or medical professional is the best way to determine the care type needed, but some general distinctions can be drawn between the two. Assisted living residents are mainly independent, but may need help with a couple of the daily living personal tasks, such as bathing and dressing, while nursing home residents tend to need 24-hour assistance with every activity of daily living. So there's something called activity of daily living, and there's 6 topics. I'll talk about it, I can't remember, but just basically a skilled nursing home, you need help with all 6. Is bathing, toileting, dressing, eating, something like that. Remove yourself. I forgot the whole 6. But assisted living just says you might need help with 2, bathing and dressing, for instance. All right, so you got to understand, skilled nursing care, you need help with all 6 of the activities of daily living, ADL. Whereas assisted living, you just need help with a couple. Assisted living residents are mobile, while those who are bedridden require nursing homes. Yep. Nursing home residents generally have a single or semi-private room, while assisted living residents generally have a studio or 1-bedroom apartment. Nursing home residents require fully staffed, skilled nursing attention on a daily basis, while assisted living residents are more stable and do not need ongoing medical attention, which is why the assisted living is going to be cheaper because there's not 24/7 requirements to be provided for. There's just not. So the culture diverse, I'm not going to skip over that. Specialized, because you can look if you want golf community, if you want LGBT, if you want Catholic, then you can do whatever you want. So I'm just not going to talk about that. There's a million different ways to look at the community you want to be part of. Number 7, specialized dementia care is also offered in assisted living. Well, this is pretty interesting. Because specialized dementia care is not synonymous with assisted living. That's actually synonymous with nursing care. So let's read what they have. Latest facts and figures show that 5.4 million Americans with Alzheimer's and dementia required specialized treatment. Many assisted living facilities offer dedicated Alzheimer's memory care. That's the word I was looking for before. So you got independent, you got assisted living, nursing home, and then memory care for residents, which are designed to decrease agitation and improve their quality of life. Generally, residents with early stage Alzheimer's or dementia can live among the regular population of assisted living residents, but when the condition becomes advanced, residents are then transferred to the memory care area of the assisted living community. Memory care is considered to be specialized assisted living that is secure to protect residents and also has a staff specifically trained to deal with those diseases. That's important, actually. In the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, dementia is fine to be, thrown in there to the general population, but as people it just moves down the path of getting worse and worse, they have to be separated. It sounds bad, but you have to be, because those people literally don't know who they are, and that's sad, but scary too, because they can do things to hurt other people without even knowing it, and you just can't have that. Some communities will work together to place couples together. So that's good. Are you worried that one of your parents may need more assistance than the other, but not sure how their needs will be met in assisted living community? You want to contact the communities to see if they can't care for both your folks. Research the space that your parents will need. Consider what individual versus shared needs they have and plan for future health changes. I think that's actually pretty important. So if you're researching assisted living for your mom and dad, you want to make sure that they can maybe age together, aging in place, age together. You don't want to have one over in Roswell, Georgia, and another one in Johns Creek. You'll be bouncing back and forth. That's not good. So this is a pretty good article, actually. The 8 things you did not know about assisted living, and a bunch of comments on here. So I'm going to share this to the notes here, and we're going to do a lot more on assisted living. Like I said, I'm going to meet this lady for lunch today. I'd like to hear her story about what she did with her mom. And it's just something you need to be looking for, not just if you're retired. You got to be thinking about for your parents who are older as well. In fact, I was just talking to a guy today. He brought his mother-in-law from India. And just because, again, she was all alone, husband died, and, no one there to care for her. And this is happening all the time. And so this guy has 4 generations living in his house. I mean, it's a wonderful man, wonderful wife, he and his wife to do that. But there you go. That's the new era of retirement now, 4 generations deep, because people are not dying at 65 like they did before, but they're living to. In fact, he was telling me his mother-in-law is fit as an ox. Is that right? Fit as an ox? I don't know. Our ox is fit, but it is fit. So whatever, fit as a rabbit, I don't even know what you say. Something's fit. It's not dying anytime soon. And that's what we're seeing more and more, is that people are living longer, and sometimes their brains are fading. In this case, his mother-in-law is fine. But 15, 20 years is what she's looking at for her life expectancy from here on. And, doesn't want to sit in India all by herself while her kids are all over the other world. And so that's just for this one case, but it's happening internally in the U.S. too. You got West Virginia mom, and I'm sitting here in D.C. How do I care for her? Get that a lot. So hope you like the episode. If you like what you see here, don't forget to subscribe. Comments are critical. It helps YouTube recognize the channel and to push it on to other people to see as well. So comments are always welcome. Thumbs up help a lot too. YouTube is big on activity. They like to see activity. They like to see average watch time. They like to see activity. So even if you don't watch it, even if you got on the background, just let this puppy play. It helps me a lot with YouTube's algorithm. Trust me, the artificial intelligence knows if you click on, click off, and don't have any comments or likes, not a big fan of that. But if you let this puppy play, even if it's background noise, it helps a lot for sure. And the likes and the comments help a lot too. So subscribe, like, and comment. Go to the blog at heritagewealthplanning.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.